When Chad met Michelle, he already had 4 kids. Michelle already had 1. Now they're having their first together.
We weren't planning on having any children.
This is my 5th time being a parent, so I've had quite enough of it. I will. I got you, relax.
I carried her for 9 months, now it's your turn.
How will they survive when they bring baby home?
I've already left out.
You want a hug?
No!
When I'm dead, I'll find time for myself.
It's very real now.
Welcome home.
Mommy's a basket case.
She became like overwhelmed.
The intimacy thing is a problem.
Dad got sleep last night, Mom not so much so.
Hi, baby.
Reach it back out.
Michelle is 32 years old.
Knee up.
Well, thank you, Jody.
Her partner, Chad, is 31. And they have a very modern family.
And I already have an 8-year-old daughter named Madison.
I have 4 other children, 3 daughters and a son.
Michelle is a stay-at-home mom. Madison is the only child that lives with them. They survive solely on Chad's salary as a painter.
It's not the most exciting job in the world, but it pays the bills.
It just barely pays the bills, and soon that salary will be stretched even further.
Little facial. Yeah.
This pregnancy was not intentional. We weren't planning on having any children. When I found out I was pregnant, I hid it from him for a little while. The words just literally wouldn't come out of my mouth. I couldn't say, Chad, I'm pregnant. So I just said, I'm not fat. And I was about 4 months along when I told him. I cried. I was afraid he was gonna leave. I was afraid he was gonna be mad. I was afraid I was never gonna see him again.
Well, when she told me she was pregnant after the big secret and everything, there was a big sigh of relief, because a pregnancy you can deal with. We can still. I've invested 2 years at this point. I didn't want it to be wasted. Just have to start over all over again. Okay, we're done.
Oh, I feel your sister moving. She's saying, get out, let me out.
Slowly, freedom.
That's really cool, Mommy.
With 2 weeks left before the baby is due, Michelle visits her midwife.
Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Good, how are you?
She wants to make sure everything is in place for a home birth.
How you doing? Good, how are you? I think of a hospital as a place that it's a great place, but I think of it as a place for sick people. And I don't consider myself sick. I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby.
Home births are now considered a safe option. A recent study shows they have the same infant mortality rate as low-risk hospital births.
Probably looking at least probably 8 pounds. We don't offer home births to women that we don't feel is an appropriate candidate. I find that Michelle is very informed. She's pretty laid back, and I think she'll do amazing at home.
It's 130 beats per minute. Sounds wonderful.
The baby's measuring appropriate. It feels like it's in a good position. The heart rate was nice and strong and normal. Everything seems fine today.
When Michelle told me she wanted a home birth, I was shocked, actually, because I was raised with, when you have a baby, you go to the hospital, and the whole thought of a midwife was like witchcrafty to me.
Women have delivered in their bathtubs, in their washrooms, and in their bedrooms, either on the bed, on the floor, anywhere in the house they've delivered. And it really doesn't matter. It just needs to be an environment that has appropriate lighting, electricity, running water, access to either landline telephone or cell phone.
It's September 17th, 2 days after due, and Michelle wakes up at 5 a.m. in labor. The midwives arrive around 6:45 a.m. when active labor begins.
Get a little panicky when they've got the tubes there at first, and what's going on, because they're just doing their job and they have no time to explain each and every step they're doing while they're doing it.
Just breathe through this one, okay? Breathe through this one. okay. It's okay. I know it hurts. Just bring it down. Oh, good. Your water's breaking then, maybe? Yeah, you're gonna need to.
When the water broke, when Michelle was pushing, the head was coming down, and there was some meconium in the fluid.
Christy, can you get in here? Christy, get this section.
The meconium is the baby's first bowel movement. If it's in the water, the baby can swallow it.
Nice and slow now. Nice and slow.
If the baby swallows it, the baby could die.
There's some meconium in the fluid. Nice and slow, nice and slow.
Meconium in itself isn't a reason to go to the hospital if it's what we would call thin meconium. And, depending on where in the labor the woman is, if she's, minutes away from delivering, that would be different if, she's only about 1 to 2 centimeters dilated and still has quite a few hours to go.
Coming up, the midwives need to make a life-saving decision.
All of a sudden it's flashing through your head, maybe I should be in a hospital. Maybe this wasn't the best decision in the world.
Chad has 4 kids. Michelle has 1. Now they're having their first together, but it's going badly. The baby may have swallowed meconium, its first bowel movement. This is potentially fatal.
You can, just try.
The midwives use a pump to suck any meconium out of the baby's throat.
Baby's nice and pink.
Just slipping the cord over the
It's okay, just hang
All of a sudden it's flashing through your head, maybe I should be in a hospital. Maybe this wasn't the best decision in the world.
Right there. Okay. Oh, here. There we go. Get your stethoscope. Quick delivery. I'm going to give you a shot of oxytocin.
There is always a chance that the baby will need a resuscitation.
But this time, resuscitation is not necessary.
Grab her there. But she's doing well now, and with a baby that comes out, is vigorous, breathing on her own, has good color, really good tone, we're not worried about any further complications from the meconium.
After 2 hours and 18 minutes of active labor, Chad and Michelle's daughter, baby Chelsea, is here.
8 pounds, 6 ounces.
Still got the shakes. Little tender. Excited to know her and really get to investigate her because I haven't really seen her that much. No idea it was going to go this fast. She just couldn't wait to get out and visit everybody. What do you want to hold?
It's almost surreal how fast it happened. 1 minute you've gone to bed, you're asleep, and it's just another pregnant day, and then next minute you got your baby. So it's been quite a morning.
The midwives leave about half an hour after the baby arrives.
You happy?
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry.
don't cry.
Hi, baby.
This one's the last baby.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
We agree, this one's the last baby.
There is such a thing as enough kids, and for him, 5 would have been at least enough, if not more than enough. So he's gonna face ongoing emotional and financial stresses. The best thing for the two of them to do is acknowledge that at the outset. There will be problems. That doesn't mean things are gonna be catastrophic, but there will be problems. If you acknowledge that there are problems, it makes it easier to put the effort into the solutions.
It still feels really surreal. It still feels like a dream. Just a little dimple in her chin, just like her dad.
This is my baby sister. She was Chelsea, and I'm very happy that I have a sister now because when I have no one to play with, I can play with her whenever I want to because she'll always be here with me.
Unfortunately, Chad doesn't get as much time to enjoy the baby.
With painting, it's kind of seasonal, so I have to get as much as I can when I can. But when winter comes, your work is kind of cut in half. There's no exteriors, so basically work will have to come first. So.
I do sometimes get lonely. I miss Chad's companionship when he's gone to work, and he's been working such long hours that when he comes home, he's tired, so. Hi, Brian. This is Chad's girlfriend, Michelle. Do you know if they're finished yet? Oh, so they're not done yet? Okay. And there's no way to get a hold of them? Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. It's a bit lonely. We haven't been seeing each other as much since he started his new job, so it's, I don't know.
The first couple of nights are, you know, Zombieville.
Night, sweetie pie.
She was awake a lot more than I expected for a newborn, so every time she cried, I wanted to try and nurse her, and Chad was really tired. He needed to sleep.
It's a whole part of getting used to having a baby again. The crying in the night, the getting up, what does she want? Am I doing everything that needs to be done for her?
When you have a new baby, you're always kind of on edge. Your instincts are always listening for that sound, and sometimes you just wake up just to check and make sure they're still there and that they're still okay. I don't think dads feel that instinct quite as much. One night when she was a little bit fussy, he didn't even flinch in his sleep.
Chad may not flinch, but he does hear the baby.
I had one really sleepless night and had to work the next day, and I couldn't chance a second one, so I went and slept on the sofa just to make sure I did get some sleep. I know Michelle feels bad.
Chad finally gets a full night's sleep, but so does the baby, 7 straight hours.
I'm a little concerned that she went so long without nursing, and her timing was really bad for that because my milk came in.
Coming up, can Chelsea go this long without feeding? The midwife arrives to find out.
I start to worry a little bit.
And how will Madison adjust to another child getting mom's attention? Chad has 4 kids and Michelle has 1.
That's really cool, Mommy.
Chelsea is their first child together. Last night, Chelsea slept 7 hours without feeding.
Her timing was really bad for that because my milk came in. Every time I put the breast near her mouth, and she didn't want to wake up, and then this morning when she finally woke up, she didn't even cry.
Today is Chelsea's 5th day in the world. A midwife is here to make sure she's still healthy.
So, did you have a good night last night?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Yes and no. We should have been catching up on our sleep in the first few days after she was born. We're all just starting to have our crash.
I start to worry a little bit. So if she has big, long sleeps, your breasts aren't going to know to produce the milk. And it's important for her to feed 8 to 10 times in 24 hours. We don't want her to have those big sleeps yet, okay?
But she's real fussy when she goes on. Like, she'll latch for a second, let go, latch, let go. Like, she's impatient, waiting for the milk to let down.
When she first gets on, you can give her a jolt of milk, and that can start her sucking and encourage her to latch. You're well. Everything looks fine. Everything looks normal. She's a lovely baby. Great.
As the midwife checks out, Chad checks in to get some one-on-one time with his 5th child.
I was pretty young when I started having babies, and it was very overwhelming. It's a little nicer than I expected. I'm not as stressed out with Chelsea. I guess I've learned patience. I find it a little nicer. I'm not so wound up.
Fortunately, Chad is bonding with his baby, but the other children in this blended family need attention too.
Mommy, I'm going to read the stuff that's on the back. The classic story believed by millionaires. Wilbur is not an ordinary pig. Mommy, are you listening still?
Yes, I'm listening.
Every relationship is like a three-legged stool. And the three legs of the stool that keep it from falling over are accurate empathy, in other words, attunement, being able to put yourself in your partner's shoes, emotional congruence, don't lie about how you feel or try to fake it, and unconditional positive regard for the person. Michelle is going to have to show her daughter all three legs of the stool if she's going to keep her healthy. It's going to take a little time, it's going to take a little attention, but if she can manage it, she'll de-stress all the relationships she's involved in right now.
Farmer's fate by friend, the farmer's daughter. Now he's all grown up.
There hasn't been any sibling rivalry, at least not yet. Madison hasn't even had a temper tantrum about the baby, saying that, you know, I'm spending more time with the baby than her, or that I love the baby more. She hasn't done that once.
I'll probably feel sad if my mom gives my baby a lot more attention, very much more, and she only gives me a teeny bit.
No, I told you. I told you pajamas. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I told you more.
Give it to me. I want to look at it.
Look, I need it.
Is that it?
This is it.
Okay, well, give it to me. Give me your agenda.
I need help with this one.
I will help you after you have your pajamas on.
No, first.
I said, give it to me. Give me your agenda and go get your pajamas on. Thank you.
Coming up, Chad's kids arrive.
I go from one to the next, and then back to the next, I got you, relax. This is my 5th time being a parent, so I've had quite enough of it.
Michelle and Chad just had their first child together, but Michelle already had 1 and Chad had 4. Today, Chad's kids are here to visit their new sister.
I love Chelsea this much. I love her because she's my baby sister. I like Chelsea because she's cute and small. I like Chelsea. I don't know.
Okay, let's go.
My legs are more than anybody.
This is the first outing with all of Michelle and Chad's 6 kids.
Sorry, Case.
Arrangements like Michelle and Chad's are pretty common. 40% of all families are now blended.
Girls are awful quiet back there.
We had the kids overnight for the first time. So our first, full 24 hours with 6 kids. 6 is a lot to handle.
You're getting pulled a million different directions, and you're trying not to, to get too overwhelmed with it all. It's really hard to spread yourself with that many children, and they are all tugging at you and demanding your full attention. So, you want to hold my hand?
That means a simple walk in the park isn't really a walk in the park.
Come here. You okay? It's okay, we're not leaving yet. You want a hug?
No!
Want another food roll-up?
We have a really big family. When Chelsea grows up, I hope she's a good kid. Sometimes my mom doesn't have time for me. I've always left out when he changed Daddy's diaper.
So it's very difficult to make sure that no one feels left out, ever. And I try. I go from one to the next as much as I can, and back to the next to make sure they're all in the conversation, they're all in the activity that we're doing. You come down? Don't do it this way. Don't do it that way. Go back and come down.
Go back that way.
Me and Michelle have discussed me having a vasectomy, so you know, because it is a permanent choice for me. I got you, relax, go. This is my 5th time being a parent, so I've had quite enough of it. Michelle, you want to take her? I can't listen to her cry anymore. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Okay. Yeah.
He still, you know, still stands tall that, you know, 5 kids is a lot. And I don't think he necessarily would wish her away, but, you know, if she hadn't have been here, it would have been okay. But he, you know, he's very glad to have her. He loves her. He, you know, he wouldn't, now that he knows her, I don't think he'd trade her for the world.
It's hard work to be a parent. So it's very tiring, and mentally and physically, constantly worrying to make sure your kids are all okay, and it's pretty exhausting. It's a hard job. When I'm dead, I'll find time for myself.